System we're looking at is off to the north, and it is on the way. Let me show you that on the satellite view, and what you'll see is we do have a big line of clouds that's starting to approach the state. A big cold front's up here to the north, and that's where they're getting all the rain. They're getting all the rain in the northwest, and for us, you just see those clouds. So if you have any plans for this evening, it's fine. It's dry. I don't expect we'll get this down here until tomorrow morning. So this evening is okay, but tomorrow it'll be a bit wet in the valley and snowy in the Sierra. Winter weather advisory is up. The snow level will be down around 5,500 feet. Now that's right around Blue Canyon, if not just a little bit up, and it's well up the hill from Pollock Pines. We won't see all that much snow, maybe around 6 inches or so, but that's plenty on 80 and 50 and 88 to require chains. So that might be the biggest news out of the Sierra. It's not a big dumping of snow. We'll be measuring in inches as opposed to feet, but it is certainly enough to cause travel problems if you're heading up that way. So things will start to wind down by late tomorrow. I'll tell you more about what we can expect in the Sierra and in the valley as we go through the weekend, coming up just a little bit later in the newscast. Back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you. And ahead of that wet weather, there is a race to clean up what's left of that deadly train derailment in the Sierra. The Union Pacific maintenance train went off the tracks and caught fire yesterday near Baxter, killing 2 workers. Today, crews worked to remove the charred cars and replace 1,400 feet of track. The National Transportation Safety Board is now investigating that derailment. It's Union Pacific's worst accident in recent history.
Residents in a Vacaville neighborhood were worried when they found out 6 convicted child molesters were living next door. The men were on parole, staying in a transition house. As KCRA 3's Rich Ibarra reports, the residents were right to be worried.
Yeah, we were trying to stay away.
Stay away from the house next door in this Vacaville neighborhood and away from the 6 men who were on parole for sex offenses against children. Maria Contreras and her 5 children had reason to be concerned.
She said that because they had those people, they were like, it was really bad.
We wasn't aware of it. The state never let us know anything or nothing. They just tried sneaking them in there.
The parolees moved in 4 weeks ago, but now the house is empty. The sex offenders and their furniture packed up and gone. Yesterday, the Solano Sheriff's Department and state parole agents conducted a compliance search and arrested all 6 men.
They said that they found drugs and guns and like dirty movies.
The Solano Sheriff's Department confirms a search found pornography, weapons, and drug paraphernalia, all violations that sent the offenders back to jail. But neighbors say it wasn't until last week they discovered who was next door.
So we started making flyers and stuff, talking to people in the neighborhood and making them aware of what's coming in the neighborhood. I'm glad that the sheriffs went in and did what they did and got him out of here.
The owner of this house says he has canceled the lease with the parole department, so neighbors here can rest easy that these men, as well as other men like them, won't be back. In Vacaville, Rich Ibarra, KCRA 3 reports.
As for what happens next, the 6 parolees could be sent back to prison for the violations found in that search. Today marks exactly 2 weeks since the murder of Sacramento Sheriff's Deputy Jeff Mitchell. Tonight, authorities say they've got 3 men in custody, and it's possible one of them could be Mitchell's killer. This afternoon, Sheriff John McGinnis told KCRA 3 his department picked up the 3 parolees, arresting each after getting specific tips and information. The sheriff hopes DNA evidence recovered from the scene will connect one of them to the murder. Residents near the crime scene are hoping the killer has been found.
I hope that it's hopeful. I hope that one of them are, like I said, peace of mind would be good for everybody out here.
The sheriff now released the identities of the 3 men in custody.
Governor Schwarzenegger continued his official visit to Mexico today, meeting with President-elect Felipe Calderón. The governor is working to strengthen relations between California and Mexico. Their agenda includes the issues of security, migration, and the controversial border fence between the 2 countries. The governor has come out against that plan to build a 700-mile-long fence along the border. Yesterday, Schwarzenegger met with Mexico's outgoing president, Vicente Fox.
I'm very excited with the people. Very happy with the people.
And this is what happened last night as Schwarzenegger spoke to the American Chamber of Commerce in Mexico City. As you can see, a protester took the stage. The demonstrators booed both the governor and the Bush administration and held up a banner. Now, that protester who made it to the stage, as you can see, was removed by security, but other protesters also interrupted the governor's speech. The county workers' strike that slowed business in San Joaquin County yesterday is now over. This was the scene yesterday as hundreds of workers walked off the job. Hospital workers in French Camp were also striking last night, but the county and the workers' union were able to reach an agreement around 3 o'clock this morning. The union says the agreement will ensure that workers get affordable health care. Union members will now be voting to accept or reject that new contract.
Tomorrow is Veterans Day, a time to honor the men and women of our armed forces. One Marysville man who was deployed for 18 months shares with KCRA 3's Suzanne Fawn how he and others are coping since returning from Iraq.
Sergeant Joe Barker is recovering from a back injury. He cherishes every day he has at home, playing with pets and spending time with family.
Yeah, I'm glad he's home finally. It was a long trip.
It's been 8 months since he returned from serving in Iraq with the National Guard.
Every day for me is a bonus. I haven't yet really figured out why I'm still alive. I had a Humvee roll over me, and it was blown up.
Barker broke his back when the Humvee he and his crew were in was struck by a roadside bomb.
Our truck was pretty much destroyed, upside down. Sergeant Silva was killed, and I had 2 other guys seriously wounded. This is a picture of Sergeant Alfredo Silva.
Barker and his crew met in Hawaii for a special ceremony. Sergeant Silva's name was engraved on a memorial rock for fallen soldiers from the 29th Brigade. Today, Barker has a Purple Heart for his service.
Pretty proud of him?
Yeah. He's the best dad in the world.
While Barker still struggles every day to adjust back to life in the U.S., his family will remember him and other soldiers this Veterans Day.
I think it's cool because then they get to celebrate what all the soldiers have done and what they've gone through to help the United States.
This Veterans Day, Barker also reminds everyone,
be proud of who you are. Be proud of American soldiers. Be proud to be an American.
After his medical leave wraps up in about 2 weeks, Joe Barker goes back to work full-time with the National Guard doing drug education in local schools. In Marysville, Suzanne Fawn, KCRA 3 reports.
Sergeant Joe Barker has been deployed 3 times. His father, who was also awarded the Purple Heart, served in Vietnam with the Marines. We should also note tonight, today marks the birthday of the Marine Corps.
I think a lot of people sharing his daughter's pride in her daddy. Well, still ahead, of course, good thing the Tower Bridge has 100 feet of clearance because the tall ships have come in.
And before the snow starts falling, we'll give you one more look at the fall colors in the Sierra.
Good evening. I'm Lois Hart in the KCRA 3 newsroom. Coming up at 6:30, part 2 of our series on the future of traffic in the Sacramento region. We'll see you then. What today looks like science fiction may be reality sooner than you think. Tonight, the complicated task of managing traffic in a growing region.
We're constrained by topography, geography, air quality constraints.
Plus the possible pitfalls of expanding mass transit. Also tonight, word that a football legend is now battling cancer when KCRA 3 reports at 6:30.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Sleep Train Mattress Centers.
Crews have recovered the body of a second victim killed when a train derailed in Placer County yesterday. 6 cars of a maintenance train jumped the tracks near Alta, about 35 miles.
With towering masts, billowing sails, and a crew of pint-sized pirates, it's pretty hard to miss 2 tall ships docked in Old Sacramento. KCRA 3's Brian Hickey shows us how the ships are teaching kids and adults how to sail the high seas.
Holy port! It's a scene right out of Pirates of the Caribbean. 2 tall ships setting sail in Old Sacramento.
Hands to set the energy!
On board the Hawaiian Chieftain, these area school kids are getting a first-hand look at what it's like to sail on the high seas.
Heave! Oh! Heave! Oh!
Hurts your hands very badly.
The Hawaiian Chieftain's mast is 75 feet tall. Raising the sails here takes teamwork.
It was easy as a team, but I can't imagine doing it by yourself.
See that sail right there? Let's raise that. These 2 tall ships, owned by the Grays Harbor Historical Seaport Authority, take school kids up and down the West Coast on educational rides to share with them the life of a sailor.
The food was not good, and the work was tough.
It just seems cool how the way they live. Very difficult, especially for a 3-year journey to leave your family and just go.
The ships look as though they were built in the 18th century. This one actually built in 1990, but the lessons learned on deck are timeless.
I've never been sailing before. I've just always wanted to try it because my grandpa sailed and I just wanted to try it.
And you don't have to be a pint-sized pirate to come out and work on the Hawaiian Chieftain. In fact, whether you're big or small, old or young, they'll put you to work out here. In fact, you can even stay for a 2-week volunteer service and, I guess, do this, huh?
Yes.
This is Sarah. She's the first mate. And what are we doing right now, Sarah?
We're furling these sails. We're going to put them away.
All right. Well, they'll certainly put you to work. You can come out and see them all weekend long. In fact, right on through November 24th. Log on to KCRA.com and we'll have the schedule for you. In Old Sacramento, hoping not to fall into the river, I'm Brian Hickey, KCRA 3 reports.
And for more information on how you can get a closer look at the ships, just check out our website, KCRA.com, and check out the local news page. And it didn't sound like Gardner was sold on becoming a sailor.
No, and I was waiting to hear a big splash from Brian Hickey, so I guess that turned out okay. Well, let's check in on the evening commute now. Traffic Pulse 3's Adrian Bankert. I understand some problems in Davis.
That's right. We're checking out slowdowns eastbound Interstate 80 approaching 113. 2 crashes, one in Dixon at Kidwell, the other one closer to Richards Boulevard. But traffic has been slow all afternoon and much of our evening hours because people are heading up the hill into the Sierra. Remember to take your chains if you are traveling out towards Reno, Truckee, and 50 along to about the South Lake Tahoe area. Let's go outside now to our shot of Capital City Freeway. It is an absolute mess out there right now. This is your westbound commute. Everybody heading to the mall. Apparently it's been pretty packed in all day. Veterans Day sales, a big pull, and the parking lot is a mess. So if you are traveling out to the mall tonight, yeah, you might want to just handle all that traffic. Yeah, you're going to just get used to it, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. 23 miles per hour is your average speed at Cal Expo. It's not getting any better. And hopefully these will all dissipate between 6 and 7 p.m. If you are hitting the road anytime tonight, this is the wacky traffic, green on our travel times. Really, we don't have bad traffic on many roadways. Westbound and eastbound Highway 50 are excellent. Southbound 99, best conditions I've seen in about a month. But Business 80 is slow. A lot of people heading to San Francisco, a lot of people heading up the hill to the Sierra.
Taking advantage of the holiday.
That's right.
All right, thank you, Adrian. Before we talk more about the snow that's heading for the Sierra, we'd like to show you what the high country looked like today.
Live Copter 3 took these pictures around lunchtime in Placer County. Plenty of gorgeous fall colors up there. I haven't had a chance to get up there yet, but I just love it when you take a drive up into the hills and take a look at the beautiful colors.
I did have a chance to go up to Apple Hill and do that, and just really so pretty. But Mark, you've been telling us, I mean, we do have some rain and some snow heading our way, but the fall colors should last a bit longer.
I would think so, especially in the lower elevations, because we're not going to get a lot of wind. Sometimes in the fall we get these winds of 30, 40 miles an hour and just kind of strip the trees. That's not what we're going to be seeing over the course of the night tonight or during the day tomorrow. Well, today, before the clouds really got thick, it was a pretty good looking day. It was a cool start. Many areas were down in the 30s, but earlier in the day, it was just not a bad day to get out to the playground. Sure, it's kind of chilly, but at least it wasn't wet. And this is the way it looked in Fairfield. Well,
our current conditions, so just look at that eye candy on that. It's pretty. Topped out this afternoon at 65. Right now it's 59 in Sacramento, 61 for Stockton, 63 for Modesto, 57 for Marysville. Humidity 45% with a dew point at 38. Winds are southwest at 5 and the barometer is falling at 30.06 inches of mercury. Okay, let's go from there and take a look at our first
Futurecast 3. Here it is at 11 o'clock tonight. The rain is to the north, but tomorrow morning, here it is at 7 a.m. We'll stop it at 7 a.m. and that front is right in our area. That means we're going to be getting some pretty good rain. It'll probably start in Sacramento maybe around 5 in the morning, something like that. So you'll probably wake up to rain, and the rain will continue through the morning hours. But then by the time we get it to tomorrow afternoon, I'll stop it at 5 o'clock tomorrow. The rain is leaving the area. We're still probably getting some lingering snow in the Sierra, and then Sunday a dry day. So we will be seeing the rain and the snow during tomorrow morning, lasting up and through the early part of the afternoon. Here's what that means for the Sierra. We're going to see that snow down to about 5,500 feet. That's above places like Pollock Pines and Arnold, so here you'll just get about an inch of rain. We will see the snow up on top, and that means you'll have the chain restrictions up for a while during the day, about 6 inches of snow, something like that. So that's what we have tomorrow. Sunday, a dry day in the Sierra. This is the 5-day for the Sierra, so Sunday dry, maybe a few rain and snow showers Monday, but that doesn't look like it's a big deal, and then dry into Tuesday, Wednesday. Tomorrow in the foothills, you'll wake up to the rain, and it'll last through much of the day. It'll be a cool day with highs in the 40s to low 50s. Also a good soaking rain here with about a half an inch to maybe maybe as much as an inch of rain around Grass Valley. Along the coast, you'll wake up to rain and then it will taper off by early afternoon, but highs still very cool, staying in the 50s. For the valley, I'm expecting we'll see cloudy skies, rain through much of the morning. It'll taper off by the afternoon with highs in the upper 50s to near 60. And the same timing will go for the Sacramento area with mostly cloudy skies, morning rain, about a half an inch of rain, probably enough to back up some of those gutters that are now filled with leaves. But the rain should be done by, maybe about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's the KCRA 3 Weather Plus 5-day forecast. Sunday, dry. Monday, maybe a few showers. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, dry. Next chance of rain probably coming in early Thursday. So tomorrow, yeah, a good soaking rain in the morning. And sure, we might see some of those drains backed up in the valley. But other than that, just a real good soaking rain.
Not bad at all. All right, thanks, Mark.
Okay.
After the break, one area mall is about to get a multi-million-dollar makeover.
And the first lawsuit to come from the hottest movie in America.
Leukemia. I'll have more on that. Plus, Friday Night Football, our game of the week, Del Oro and Granite Bay. The league title on the line. A live look at Granite Bay High School. The JV game just wrapping up. Sports is next.
Spanish language closed captioning is sponsored by the Elk Grove Auto Mall.
Concerns about identity theft have led the nation's largest HMO to add a new layer of security.
Your Kaiser card and a picture ID, please.
There it is. It's an effort to make sure that patients seeking treatment are who they say they are. Kaiser Permanente now adding that layer of checks. In parts of the country, the company has now moved to require a picture ID after several incidents where treatment was, in essence, basically stolen.
Our large employer groups, as well as Medicare, are asking us, what are we doing to prevent fraud? This is one of our answers.
Another benefit, the photo ID will help cut the risk of patients getting the wrong treatment based on someone else's medical records.
A Northern California mall that's been around for a quarter century has a new look tonight. This was the celebration today as the Westfield Solano Mall in Fairfield officially unveiled its new look. The 2-year, $20 million makeover includes this artsy entrance. Other areas of the mall are dedicated to the people of Solano County with tributes to Travis Air Force Base, wineries, fairgrounds, and agriculture. There's also a new play area for the kids. All weekend shoppers will also be treated to music, face painting, and other entertainment.
So we finally have our first lawsuit from that movie, Borat. It comes from a couple of fraternity boys who are not very happy about the way they are portrayed in the movie.
Bing, bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, ding, 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 bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, ding, 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 ding.
They were identified in the movie as frat members from the University of South Carolina. In the movie, they appeared drunk and made rude comments about women and minorities. A spokesperson for the university says their actions do not reflect the campus as a whole.
I think in a college environment you see a lot of wild things, so while we're certainly not pleased with this, we're certainly not shocked. We basically condemn the statements that were made by the young men.
The students say they only signed the film waivers for the film because they were provided alcohol and became intoxicated.
KCRA 3 reports at 6:30 is coming up next.
David Lois, what's coming up tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what's coming up. You're going to enjoy this one. A World War II buff is here tonight, and guess what? He is only 8 years old, but he knows his stuff, and he had quite an adventure today. Plus tonight, for the second night in a row, we look into the future. Last night on I-80. Tonight, it is Highway 50. What's being done to make sure the regional commute times don't double in the coming years. KCRA 3 reports at 6:30. Starts in just 2.5 minutes.